A maintenance engineer named Tariq was doing his rounds on the 148th floor of the Burj Khalifa at 2 a.m. when the alarm went off. Not a fire alarm, not a security alert, a temperature warning. One cooling loop in a mechanical room had crept 4 degrees above its threshold. Outside, Dubai was still radiating heat from the day. Tariq had 12 minutes before the room hit critical. He pulled out his tablet, accessed the building's management system, and rerouted the cooling flow remotely before the room ever hit danger. He went back to his rounds. Nobody in the 900 apartments and offices below ever felt a thing. That story is not dramatic because something went wrong. It is dramatic because of how fast it was fixed, and because it happens in some variation every single night in the world's tallest building. Because the Burj Khalifa is not just a tower. It is a living machine that cannot stop. Not for a minute. Not at 3 a.m. Not on Christmas. Not ever. And what it takes to keep that machine alive, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, will genuinely shock you. The Burj Khalifa stands 828 meters above the Arabian Desert. 163 floors. Up to 35,000 people inside on any given day. Summer temperatures outside reaching 50 degrees Celsius. And a peak electricity demand of 50 megavolt amperes, equivalent to powering 500,000 light bulbs simultaneously, continuously. Every day, the tower consumes nearly 1 million liters of water. Its air conditioning system alone demands 24 megawatts of power. These are not peak numbers for an exceptional day. These are the baseline, the floor, the minimum required just to keep the building functional. And if any of it stops, the consequences cascade through the entire vertical city within minutes. Planning for a machine of this scale did not begin when construction started. It began years before the first pile was driven into the desert sand. The engineers at Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill faced a problem with no historical precedent. How do you design power and cooling infrastructure for a structure taller than anything ever built? You cannot simply scale up what worked in a 50-story building. Physics intervenes at this height. Water cannot be pumped in a single unbroken column from the basement to the observation deck. The hydraulic pressure at the bottom of the pipe would be catastrophic. Air cannot be cooled at ground level and circulated efficiently to the top. Every system had to be conceived from scratch, zone by zone, floor by floor. It took years just to arrive at the concepts. The first monumental task was electricity. Getting power reliably to every one of the 400 electrical loads in the building, from elevator motors to fountain pumps to emergency lighting, required a custom-designed distribution network unlike anything previously built for a single structure. ABB, the Swiss-Swedish engineering giant, developed a bespoke smart grid built exclusively for the Burj Khalifa. 50 lightweight gas-insulated medium-voltage switchgear units. 72 custom dry-type transformers, engineered to fit the tower's unusually tight mechanical spaces. The entire network was designed to distribute power at higher voltages internally, reducing energy loss across the enormous vertical distances. It was not off-the-shelf infrastructure. Every component was purpose-built for a problem that had never existed before. But the real challenge was still ahead. At peak load, the Burj Khalifa requires approximately 10,000 tons of cooling capacity. To make that tangible, that is the equivalent of melting 10,000 tons of ice every single day. Conventional air conditioning at that scale would demand so much electricity during peak hours that it would threaten the stability of Dubai's entire power grid. So the engineers built something that sounds almost absurd until you understand the elegance of it. Every night, when electricity demand across the city drops and power is cheaper, the building's cooling plant manufactures millions of kilograms of ice slurry. Vast underground tanks fill with stored thermal energy. Then, when the sun rises and temperatures climb and 35,000 people begin demanding cool air simultaneously, the stored ice is gradually released into the system. It melts. It absorbs heat. It chills the water circulating through the tower's cooling network. The building uses yesterday's cold night to survive today's scorching afternoon. A frozen battery buried in the basement of the world's tallest structure, silently doing work that no conventional system could replicate. The cooling distribution itself required equally radical engineering. Water cannot travel 828 meters in a single pressurized column. The solution was a zoned relay system. The building divided into vertical sections, each with its own pump stations and pressure management infrastructure. Think of it as a relay race run vertically. Chilled water is handed off from one pressurized zone to the next, carefully controlled at every transition point. Each zone operates independently, so a failure in one section cannot cascade through the entire tower. Resilience was not an afterthought. It was designed into every handoff, every valve, every loop. Then there is the condensate, a resource most buildings throw away entirely. When you cool a building in Dubai's thick, humid air, you pull enormous quantities of moisture out of the atmosphere. The Burj Khalifa captures all of it, every drop. The system recovers approximately 15 million gallons of condensate water per year, the volume of roughly 20 Olympic swimming pools, and feeds it back into the cooling system and the tower's landscaping. The building collects its own sweat and puts it back to work, a closed loop of efficiency running invisibly behind the marble lobbies and glass facades. Watching over all of it, the power grid, the cooling loops, the 57 elevators, the fire suppression systems, the security network is the integrated building management system. The IBMS is the central nervous system of the Burj Khalifa. Thousands of sensors across every floor feed data in real time to a control room that never goes offline. Temperature, humidity, power draw, air quality, equipment status, every air handling unit, every pump, every circuit breaker, all reporting continuously. When a sensor detects a deviation, the system flags it in seconds. Engineers like Tariq can respond remotely before a problem becomes a crisis. The result is not just reliability, it is predictive intelligence. Operational costs reduced by up to 30% compared to conventional building management. And a standard of uptime that has to be perfect because in a vertical city of this scale, there is no acceptable definition of failure. Because consider what failure actually looks like here. Cooling system down on a 45-degree July afternoon. Interior temperatures begin climbing within minutes. Elevators offline. 35,000 people stranded across 163 floors. Power distribution faltering. Fire suppression, emergency pressurization, and lighting all compromised simultaneously. Every critical system in the Burj Khalifa has redundancy built in, precisely because the consequences of single-point failure are unacceptable. The ice storage plant exists partly as a thermal backup. The power network has multiple feed points. The IBMS watches everything so that human operators are never caught off guard. And yet, for all its complexity, this building has a quiet harmony with its environment. The drier, cooler air near the top of the tower is drawn in for ventilation, requiring less energy to condition than the dense air at street level. The Y-shaped footprint, inspired by the desert flower Hymenicalis, was not purely aesthetic. It disrupts wind loads that would otherwise act on a structure of this height with destructive force. The condensate the building breathes from humid air becomes the water feeding its gardens. The building does not simply endure its environment. It harvests from it. The Burj Khalifa is the most recognizable building on Earth. But everything that makes it extraordinary is underground, behind walls, inside mechanical rooms on floors no visitor ever sees. Frozen tanks, relay pumps, a digital nervous system counting 1,000 variables every second. The building you look up at is impressive. The building you cannot see is where the real engineering genius lives. And it never stops. Not for Tariq, not for you, not for anyone.